going to mug me?
Am I going to mug you?
Is that gorgeous or what, eh?
And I believe I can run a decent marathon.
Download Veely now.
I'm Sarah Richardson. This is Ruth, and these are her 3 children. This is their pigsty. That's right, pigsty. And this is what the pigsty looks like now, thanks to some help from Design Inc.
The city can be a crazy place in the summer. Sometimes I just want to get away, even if it's for work. Lucky for me, Ruth and her family have decided to convert a pigsty on their property into a bunkhouse for their kids and guests. Who can turn up their nose at an invitation like that?
What was it like when you first got it?
There were actual sties for large pigsties. There was a hayloft on top that you couldn't access from inside, only from outside.
Okay.
And so we pulled down all the floorboards from the loft. And so there.
Did I mention who Ruth's other half is? It's Andrew, my favorite contractor, whom I've been keeping busy back in the city. For a change, we're giving him a break as our local workers seem to have it all well in hand.
I think we just want a guest house that is sort of flexible. We have lots of cousins that come to visit, so if all the kids want to come back here and the parents can have a quiet stay in the house. So yeah, we're just thinking a couple of beds, you know, a little desk, somewhere to put clothes and books and...
Okay. Like, are we gonna clad the roof with, you know, insulation and boarding and clad the walls, or is it just like stay as rustic as this?
I think the idea was to do a new roof on the outside.
Okay, so that we insulate it on the outside and we could still have the timbers and everything on the inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the debates is, do you insulate right out here and cover everything, or do you insulate inside and leave these things exposed?
Well, the neat thing is that if you stepped it out a little bit, you get a great ledge.
Yeah.
And then floor?
We'll level it out. We have tons of boards that we can salvage if we want.
So we can just put down a nice old pine floor on top of a layer of insulation.
Yeah.
You sure you want this for the guests? When does insulation happen and when does the floor happen, and how quickly are we going to do this?
As fast as possible.
This could get interesting. Did I mention that Ruth's pigsty is, 3 hours from the city? That is one big commute. Thank goodness for the local contractors, because we don't know what other challenges we're gonna face.
Yep. I said that I don't do poo, it's in my contract.
It's the first pigsty for Design Inc. Not to suggest anything, but Natalie's our choice to handle the project.
Hi, here's your revised contract.
I think she'll wiggle her way through this one just fine. And I know what you're thinking, but those little piggies are long gone, and we don't need to muck this place out. A good way to visualize a space with furniture is to lay it out using chalk or tape to see how it all fits.
The great thing is that instead of sticking all the beds kind of in the middle, it would almost seem best to keep them out to the back.
Yeah.
And then you could have this whole sort of great living space.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be great. I'd like some big chairs and a coffee table.
Sounds like we have a floor plan. Unfortunately, we also have a new tenant.
There's a snake.
Oh, wow.
Can you get him? Ooh, there you go.
We interrupt this decorating project to bring you the snake charmer.
Wow. What does it feel like wrapped around you?
Enough with the distraction, folks. Let's get back to work.
This is basically 500 square feet.
Yeah.
It's like the size of my apartment.
Now, do you want to move in?
Please.
Oh, and did you hear about my fabulous light idea? I was in this great new little bistro and looked up, and their lamps were made out of chicken wire. And they had taken the full width and just wrapped them about 5 times with a little halogen hanging down. They were absolutely
Well, it
wonderful.
would be great to do a whole run of them that come from the ceiling. Any ideas on colors?
The main thing is when you look out and it's just the fields, it all feels fresh and breezy. And
so not necessarily
sort of
too much color, probably sort of more natural colors.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And durable.
And durable, yeah.
And outside?
It's a pretty retro scheme here of yellow and
red.
brown.
Well, barn red I thought would look nice.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about, I mean, you've got that. I think that's a perfect barn red instead of being too bright. I would probably say it'd be better to stain this instead of painting it.
Okay.
We can use a solid stain so that it'll penetrate
A different color?
Like, you could even go with something in a sort of browny gray for the trim.
Sure.
Yeah. If you ever look at colors for exterior, inside, when you get them outside, they look totally different. It's so good to look at them outside because that'll be the true read of what they're actually going to look like.
Looks like we've got a plan, and Ruth's contractors have just finished an electrical trench. Is that the last we're gonna see of them?
We were hoping we'd get more help from local contractors. That hasn't quite gone as planned.
Is Andrew gonna have to drop his cell phone and actually pitch in?
Well, the drywall's been moved into the pigsty now, so I can get off the phone.
Bam! You need to have blinders on.
We can't demolish it because we don't have the funds to demolish it.
Do you have any idea of how to do any of this stuff?
What a waste of space.
So there's even more to see. Wow.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Ruth, Andrew, and their family have this great little farmhouse in the country.
I heard there's a hay wagon here.
An abandoned pigsty is a hair's breadth away, and they want to turn it into a guest house.
You sure you want this for the guests?
Another 3-hour trip back to the country, and we've scored some free furniture which can be fixed up and revamped. And then Nat tries a few free throws of her own. Back to the city to nail pink colors and find some fabric.
So I did some tests.
Yep. So this is for the exterior.
Exterior.
Okay, of the sty. I think the wild cherry's looking better because it's looking more like a barn red.
Love it.
I'm gonna say that I think it's Durango. Yeah,
Me
and
too.
wild cherry.
Those were my favorites.
Remember what I said about always looking at exterior colors outdoors?
Yeah, I like it. So that's good. Now, what about fabrics?
I know that we'll be slip covering definitely in, you know, a twill of some kind. So I went and found a nice $6.99 cotton.
I think that's too white.
I thought some denim used wrong side could be fun. Thought maybe some ticking. I love this. There's something just so
pretty. I
so
just
I had to
thought,
grab it.
for me, I thought it was going to be more barn.
Well, see, this is where communication is the key to all relationships because we had not talked.
Well, it's back to the drawing board for fabric samples. We've heard back from Ruth and the paint colors are a go. Time to schedule yet another trip to farm country.
What all are we looking to accomplish the day that we go down there?
We need to paint the outside of the sty.
Okay.
We need to order mattresses.
The other thing to look for is lighting.
Ruth had an idea. I wonder if we can maybe make some lighting.
I was in this great new little bistro, and their lamps were made out of chicken wire.
Yeah.
But I think it's a combination of screen first and then chicken wire over top.
Yeah.
It's a lighting adventure for Natalie, although you'd be hard-pressed to tell.
I've been told it's down here.
It looks more like she's building a chicken coop. The good news is that the supplies are coming together. The bad news is that summer's a busy time in the country, and we're having trouble moving this project forward without having someone on site to monitor the job. Unfortunately, it turns out we really can't get it done without Andrew's help.
We've been here every weekend working very long hours trying to do a lot of this stuff on our own. So we weren't really counting on that.
The contractors that they've been using out here, they say they'll be there Tuesday, then they show up the following week. In the city, when we say we'll be there Tuesday, you're kind of there Tuesday.
I think it might be time for a Design Inc. intervention. So much for giving Andrew a break.
Tell me about this.
Until now, he's been way too busy bailing me out on downtown jobs. But this is his pigsty. After yet another hot and sticky 3-hour drive, we're all on site ready to pull this place together.
First of all, let's move all this drywall. Let's get this organized to get the painting underway.
But notice how Andrew always seems to be on his cell phone when there's heavy lifting involved.
Well, the drywall's been moved into the pigsty now, so I can get off the phone, Josh.
Our first priorities for making this pigsty livable for humans are to insulate and lay floors.
So they built it up, put 2x4s on the flat all the way around, and just put it up on little blocks everywhere.
We decided to go with new pine floors instead of barn board because it's cheaper, easier to install, and it's going to be painted anyway. Our choice for insulation is a high-efficiency airfoil, a cheap and effective solution for a rough and raw space such as this.
And this is your junior installer?
Junior installer.
Okay. Show me how it's done, Joshua. We are scraping all the loose paint off first. Then the side is going red.
I've got my protective goggles on.
We're not sure about the child labor laws, but if the boy wants to work, let's put him to work.
It's great working with Sarah. She's got a lot of great ideas, and it's going to come together really, really well.
Okay, it's hot.
How hot is it?
Woohoo! Tommy shows his legs to the world.
The floor is just about finished, so it's time to shift focus to some rustic bed frames.
And then if we just make a frame, so basically we need 2 6.5-foot boards and 2 3-foot boards on each bed.
That bed. Now we got other stuff out.
What else is in the barn?
That's an old back of a hay wagon.
Could be the top of a coffee table.
Could be.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. It was meant to be.
Like it's a custom fit. So all we need is to sand it down and urethane it.
Even Ruth's parents are getting in on the action.
I don't know, I just love doing things.
Things are coming. I think we've got maximum output here. I can hear the sound of, a table saw and a sander behind me. I've got 3 kids painting with their mom over here. I wonder how that's going to turn out. I got 2 scrapers on the far side of the building and 3 painters on this side. So I would say we're doing as much as we possibly can. I could do with the temperature being a few degrees cooler and the wind being a few knots stronger. Because as you can see, I'm a bit flushed.
But the good news is we haven't had to worry about snakes today.
We did find some crop circles in the back, though, which are giving me a bit of pause.
Who wants lunch? Lunch!
We've made a lot of progress, but we've got a lot more to do after lunch. Once Nat stops showing off, we can get the other kids working. Joshua installed the floor. Now it's time to get Ruth and Andrew's other kids to pitch in by making some pillow fabric.
Fantastic. Lift up this leaf. Set this down.
Give it a roll.
Roll it. Roll it.
Wow.
Look at that.
And go for it.
Now that the kids are occupied, Andrew's finishing the bed frames. Then he'll move on to drywall.
So what we're gonna do is make these into some sort of a lamp. Okay, roll it. Then we'll end up with basically, it's sort of like making your own ice cream cones.
Okay.
Right now it's caught on my sock. This is good.
Yeah.
It's a bit sharp. It's amazing how easy it is to work with.
The lacerations are all a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's as easy as how many bandages you've got on hand.
I'm a nurse, I'm an OR nurse, so I'm a very good assistant.
Oh, that looks great.
Do you like that?
Love it.
All right, I'll try not
That's
to hit you far away.
attractive.
I'm gonna demonstrate the light. What do you think?
You know, you just can't buy lamps like this at a store.
I hear you don't like my chicken wire.
Ruth's light idea turns Andrew off.
Just didn't click with me, sorry.
Yeah.
As does the floor color.
I heard that you thought that the floors looked pink.
And now the weather's not cooperating.
I don't know if you've noticed, it's a bit chilly out there.
We're turning Ruth's pigsty into a guest house. The local trades have been called away to other projects, so now the family and Design Inc are pitching in.
Show me how it's done, Joshua. Having this huge sort of family effort has really made a giant difference.
We even found time to make some lamps.
I hear you don't like my chicken wire.
Ruth is holding him up.
Why didn't you tell me yesterday?
It was on camera.
Yeah. Now, this chicken wire's not expensive.
Just didn't click with me, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we're gonna need some new lamps. Meanwhile, Natalie's making her 5th trip back to the pigsty to make sure we're moving toward completion.
Need to figure out what our last needs are, collect them in the city, and then come up, and that should be it. One more trip.
Andrew has finished making the bed frames out of salvaged barn boards.
They're just so fun.
Yeah, those things look sturdy enough to stand up to 3 kids. As for our camera...
We'll use this. You really like this, you like this.
Yeah. Sure, that looks good.
That's great. Ruth likes Natalie's new fabric choices for pillows and slipcovers. Andrew and his team are making great progress on the inside of the pigsty. The floors are down, the drywall is up, and the electricity works.
Joshua hooked up the electricals with me yesterday. He did his own plug. Joshua wired this plug.
Not too shabby. A little bit of paint and this place is going to look great.
I feel good. I think we have collected all of the necessary elements, minus a few. The big thing we're missing is a sofa and a few little things. We're ready to go.
Or so we think. Sofa, we have to go and pick up. So we've got the 2 red side tables, which presumably can go in here. Although, since we painted the floors that color, I don't know if they're gonna go.
Yeah, Andrew was saying that the floors looked really pink.
When was that?
Yesterday.
I think I need to talk to him before we plan on going. Hold on. I heard that you thought that the floors looked pink. The floor paint was watery and blotchy? No, we don't want candy burgundy. That's not the color. We want it to look 1880s, not 1980s, okay? This could be a big problem. Contractor delays at the beginning have pushed the project back, and now the weather's not cooperating. I don't know if you've noticed, it's a bit chilly out there. Maybe too cold to let the floor paint dry properly. I don't want to load stuff in if it's not dry. Saturday, Sunday's supposed to be nice, and Monday's supposed to be 11 and raining. You know, the forecasters haven't been right about the weather all summer, and now our schedule is depending on them more than ever. Well, the floor's kind of the most important thing, and it's the worst thing to rush. This little pigsty has got to get home. We're helping Ruth and Andrew turn their dirty old pigsty into an incredible bunkhouse for the kids. It's sort of like an old-fashioned work party. It's great we can get done in a day. Unfortunately, they didn't love our lamps. Remember our chicken wire lights you didn't like? Did you find something else? So apparently, Ruth made her own, and I haven't even seen them yet. If you've got something else there and you like it, then that's fine with me. Then we had a little issue with pink floors. If we put your furniture in before your floors are done, you'll never do them, and you'll always wish that you'd actually taken the extra 3 days to get them the right color. But now everything is ironed out, and it's time for the Design Inc team
Hey guys, come on in.
to pull it all together.
Oh, the pigsty doesn't look like it's for pigs anymore, huh? I guess you guys both have full trucks, so let's prioritize getting stuff to come out of the house. We'll bring it onto the lawn, and then we'll get everything out. So if we want to start with the beds.
When I first walked into the pigsty, I thought it was fabulous. All the little touches, the quilts and the pillows and everything, all that stuff really surprised me.
Our preliminary plan is 2 day beds. Okay. We're gonna go in that corner.
I just think those beds are so great. I mean,
amazing what you can do with some lumber you find in the barn. And then we have a seating grouping.
It's tough to get a grip with the slip cover on it.
Hold on, hold on. Let's just set it down.
Sure.
All 3-year-olds off the bed. Go! That's the end of you.
It looks great. It all comes together really, really nicely. And I'm thrilled.
I can do that. I think that one's
I made one light, Ruth made another light. I think either one could have worked, but the key is that everybody's happy with the way it turned out in the end.
This is so cute.
Joshua, this is the fabric that you made. The leaf pattern pillows are probably my favorite part. They were easy, they look fantastic when they're all sewn up. We just wanted something that was classic farm, so we went with barn red and sort of a weathered wood tone, and still feels rustic and charming.
My grandmother lived on a farm, and any of the touches that kind of remind me of the country and where she lived really resonate with me.
Nobody would have ever thought it would turn out looking like this. It is all just completely calm and relaxed and fun at the same time.